Hello, what's up guys, and welcome back to another video on the channel of Sport. I'm Mazo, and today we are going to make our French Grand Prix video. If you did miss the previous one of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, then be sure to check that one out because it was a really solid Grand Prix for us, and with a surprised race winner, who it was and how the race was going, find it out and look it by yourself. So for this Grand Prix, I um traditionally, I need to say right now, forgot to change the commentator and Jeff's voice language, so you will hear it on in German. I'm sorry for that. Apologies, and I hope I won't forget it the next time at the Austrian Grand Prix. As a little information, the steering and Grand Prix and the Austrian Grand Prix are on the same track, so we are going to make it as a double Grand Prix on the same track. How I will make it, I will explain you later, so let's get on with this video and find out what happened here. Now let's get in our qualifying sessions. So in Q1 it will be sunny, as you can see. Hopefully we won't get rain further into this race weekend, so that we can plan our strategy as early as possible. So now in Q1, in our first lap, so we are plumb last because we haven't set the time yet. So let's see how it goes. So now talking about the Austrian and the Steering Grand Prix, next week on Sunday will be the race of the Steering Grand Prix, so I will make them both, so the Austrian and the Steering Grand Prix, on the track of the Red Bull Ring. So basically I'm going to make one part of this Grand Prix will be, I think, maybe qualifying highlights, or qualifying and a piece of the race, if you can say it, or we are going to make it that the qualifying highlights are the Steering Grand Prix video, and the race highlights, as you can say, are the Austrian Grand Prix video. Let's see. You can write down in the comments what you think about it, and so let's get on with this qualifying session. In Q1 we are only P11 right now, so we decided to get another lap in on a I think another fresh set of soft tires. But the surprise of Q1 is that Vettel, just like in Azerbaijan, has missed out on reaching Q2. This time he hasn't set a lap time, but it's a big surprise that Vettel in the Ferrari is out of Q1. As you know, the Ferraris 2020 were really bad, but in the game they were really solid and decent. So it is a surprise that Vettel has missed out on Q2. I think he had a mechanical failure. That's why he couldn't take part in Q1, and he needs to look now forward to the race and what happens. So in Q2, as you can see, it is a bit overcast now. So the clouds are coming, but the forecast said that it won't raining during this Q2 session. So hopefully it is the truth and it doesn't rain. On our first lap we are only P11 behind our teammate Alexander Albon, so we decided to get another lap in on this medium tires. For the strategy we are going to try to get through into Q3 on a set of mediums, to get the mediums as the start set, to have the more the more safely strategy, you need to say, because if you are going on the one stop with mediums to hards, you do have better tires at the end, so we are gaining an advantage here. So now on our second lap of Q2, um, on the start finish straight over the line we are P5 right now, so a better second lap, so we've lost a lot of time in the last sector. And again, a surprise, Alexander Albon, our teammate, is out in Q2, so I don't know why, but he is really disappointed to have a car which is your teammate, out in Q2. And with him, Grosjean, Raikkonen, Gasly, and George Russell in the Williams. Russell had take part in Q2 once in Azerbaijan, and he has qualified in P11 there. So again, a decent performance from the Williams drivers. So now in Q3, we are trying to get a bit of a toe of Lance Stroll on this Mistral straight. Again with no track guide today, and so I think at the end of this season we are going to make a track guide, maybe on the F1 2021 game for every circuit. So let's see. So at the end of our first lap in Q3, again we are trying to get a bit of a toe of Lance Stroll's Racing Point car, and over the line we are P2, over a second behind the Mercedes of Hamilton. And again we are going to do another lap on this set of soft tires to maybe get a better time in without burning another set of softs. And now we are getting a toe on the Mistral straight off Lance Stroll, and that's why we are gaining time if you look on our delta time on the top right. But we've lost it on this north curve and gained it again on the exit of this turn. And now we are in the negative delta, so we've gained time in this section, you can see. But in the last sector, we have lost all the time. Why? I don't know. On the exit of this turn, we've gained a bit of time back, but really disappointed to lose all the time you've gained in the second sector, you need to say. And we are in P3 right now because Bottas has gone above us, and as you can see right now in the top left, Bottas is dropping back because of track limits. And now, as you can see, really close with timing, just like Hamilton in Russia last year. Just I think a tenth, by a tenth of a second, he's made it to the line to start his final flying lap after the red flag caused by Sebastian Vettel in his Ferrari, who crashed out in Q2. Purple first sector. I think we've gained 6 tenths, so a good omen maybe for the rest of the lap. Let's see. So now we've gained 6 tenths still, and we've lost a bit of time now on this turn. And now at the end of this sector, the last time over the start-finish straight, we've gained 7 tenths, 6 tenths right now. Maybe we can challenge for a provisional over the line now. What's it gonna be? It is only P2, so we've missed out on pole position. Unlike in Azerbaijan, we've got the pole position, and Bottas' lap was deleted because of track limits, and that's why he hadn't set another lap time. I don't know why, but maybe he had a mechanical issue as he entered the box again to start another flying lap. But Ricciardo in the Renault up to P3 and Hamilton on pole by 3 tenths. Let's get into the race.
Es ist ein toller Tag für ein Rennen hier in Castellet und die Fahrer treffen letzte Vorbereitungen auf dem Starterfeld. Hoffen wir also auf einen spannenden Wettbewerb hier beim großen Preis von Frankreich. 6 Links- und 9 Rechtskurven sorgen auf dem Circuit Paul Ricard für insgesamt 15 Kurven, die es auf einer Länge von 5,79 Kilometer zu bewältigen gilt. Die durchschnittliche Geschwindigkeit dürfte in etwa bei 229 km/h liegen. Richtig schnell wird es auf der Mistral-Geraden, da erwarten wir Spitzengeschwindigkeiten von bis zu 330 Stundenkilometer. Stefan, ich frage mich, ob die Teams in der Mitte heute frühe Boxenstops machen werden, um damit die Führenden unter Druck zu setzen und deren Strategie durcheinander zu bringen.
Wenn man in der Mitte des Feldes ist, hat man sein eigenes Rennen zu fahren. Ich glaube nicht, dass sie vorne angreifen werden. Aber je näher sie an der Spitze sind, desto wahrscheinlicher wird es, dass sie Doppelstrategien einsetzen. Wenn ein Team zum Beispiel auf Platz 2 und 3 ist, kann es den einen Wagen vorzeitig in die Box holen, während der andere draußen bleibt, was den Führenden stark unter Druck setzt und eventuell einen Fehler provozieren könnte.
Gehen wir die Startaufstellung der Fahrer für das aufregende Rennen von heute durch. Dank einer unglaublichen Runde im gestrigen Qualifying startet Lewis Hamilton von der Pole Position. Und Max Verstappen steht daneben. Und in der restlichen Startaufstellung von heute haben wir Ricciardo, Stroll, Sergio Perez und Norris, Leclerc, Ocon, Kvyat und Valtteri Bottas. Albon, Grosjean, Kimi Räikkönen und Gasly, Russell, Latifi, Carlos Sainz und Antonio Giovinazzi. Magnussen und Sebastian Vettel startet aus der hintersten Reihe. Jeden Moment werden die Startlichter ausgehen, also schalten wir runter zur Strecke für den Beginn dieses Grand Prix.
So again, sorry for this German sound. Apologies for that because I forgot to change the language. So now let's look on our strategy and what I hadn't seen so far. It is the forecast that is some rain coming, I think, at the start of the race, so very early. So that was a mistake to qualify on the mediums, but we are going on the two-stop to maybe have the softs when the rain starts to stop at the middle of the race. So now 5 red lights, and we are on the way. 5 red lights are out, and we are on the way. So, but a decent start from Ricciardo in P3, and we are now 3 wide into the first turn. A bit of a screen freeze there, apologies for that. And but we're still 3 wide, and Ricciardo on the inside has taken the lead for, I think, 200 meters or 20 meters. So, but now on the acceleration at the end of the turn, we've got the first position. In second is now Lewis Hamilton, and in third, Daniel Ricciardo in the Renault. But Ocon and Stroll are fighting for P4 if we are looking on the top left of our screen. So that is really interesting indeed, this start with all the battles. Right now Ocon is in P4, so he has gained the P4, and Hamilton is attacking us now. I think with ERS we haven't used it, and if you are looking carefully on the halo, you can see the rain is starting to fall down as we get down the inside of Hamilton. So it is raining right now if you look on the halo. So that will be interesting indeed in case of the strategy. And yeah, so if the rain is getting down stronger, as you can say, we need to get on the intermediate tires at the end of this lap. So very disappointed with our strategy try with the mediums. We I think we need to get qualified on the soft compound tires, so it was a mistake because I haven't looked on the forecast at the qualifying sessions. So now let's see. So we coming on this lap for the set of intermediate tires, and with me I think the other way, others too. I think Perez has stayed out, but as you can see, the Ferraris are ready, the Mercedes are ready, we are ready to make our pit stop. And now we need to wait for the traffic. Oh, that is really bad. But as you can see here right now, we are double stacking, and the Alpha Tauri is coming in. So the Alpha Tauris are double stacking. The Alfa Romeos, I think, aren't double stacking. As does the Haas. I think there are double stacking too. But the Renaults have double stacked. I think the Williams are double stacking too. So I think every team is except the Racing Points, the Haas and the Alfa Romeos are double stacking. So this will be really interesting indeed, because as you can see, the track is really wet now. So it's really time now to get into the box for a set of intermediate tires. But I think 3 drivers decided to stay out, if I've seen that right. So I think they wanted to try to get another lap in, another faster lap on their slick tires, because obviously the slick tires are faster than the wet tires, the rain tires. So I think they wanted to get another faster lap in for a fast in lap. But as you can see now on our top left, if you are looking while on this screen, we are gaining now time on them. And into lap number 3, we've got our lead back. So I think we have now a gap of 5 seconds, if I'm right, if I see right. So comfortably ahead of the Renault of Ricciardo. So Hamilton gets stuck in the traffic at his pit stop. So he was caught up more than me, and Kvyat in the AlphaTauri has gained. He's gained by that advantage of this traffic. He's gained, I think, 5 positions because he started from P9. And here you can see Danny Kvyat behind is Lance Stroll, then the McLaren of Lando Norris. And behind, I think, is another racing point of Paris, and then comes Lewis Hamilton. So I think Hamilton is now in P9, down P9, and the Alpha and our teammate, so our teammate I think is now in P10, then Williams, I think, of Russell, ahead of Ricard, Ocon, and then Vettel and Gasly. So really interesting indeed right now. In case of the positions. So let's watch it along with Vettel. Maybe he's attacking Ocon into the next turn, but he was a bit too far behind, so he had to wait a bit. So now here you can see Grosjean and Valtteri Bottas. So I think they are really further behind, and as you can see, Bottas is going for a move on Romain Grosjean in the Haas, and the Haas hadn't had a chance to defend against the Mercedes because the Haas is so much slower that the Mercedes could get breeze past the Haas very easily, and is now, I think, up into P13 or something. So we've set a fastest lap of the Grand Prix, and into lap number 5 we've got the lead of 11 seconds to Daniel Ricciardo. I think Stroll and Kvyat are battling for P4 if we are looking on our top left screen, on the top left of our screen, and so this would be really interesting indeed in case of the strategy, because later on, if you have seen the forecast, it will be dry again. So then we need to get back to the slicks. So this will be really interesting. And now into lap number 7, we've got now a lead of 17 seconds. So in 2 laps we have gained, I think, 6 seconds nearly. So 2 seconds or 3 seconds per lap. So really decent performance so far from us. So let's see. On our top left, I think Fiat and Stroll are still battling, but Stroll is now a bit behind Kvyat. So I think is 4/10 or something like this. So Kvyat has built a gap, a little gap of 3 to 4/10. So now lap number 8, we are quickly and we are quick and we are decent. So and into lap number 11, 3 laps later, we've got a gap. We've built a gap of 24 seconds now to the Renault of Daniel Ricciardo, and Leclerc and Kvyat and Stroll are still the cars in the top 5 positions. So if it would stand like this, we are getting 26 points, and I think the Mercedes of Hamilton, I don't know if he's in P7 right now, so I think he will get yeah, he won't get as much points as we are getting right now, and we will make a huge amount of points in the Champions League. So this is huge for the championship if it stands like this at the moment. So we've got a gap now, I think, of 26 seconds to Daniel Ricciardo, and Kvyat could defend his position against Stroll. So good work by the young Russian, who is now the Pullman driver of Alpine. And just for information, we are playing the Grand Prix on the F1 2020 game, so that's the reason why we've got the old team still. So Racing Point instead of Aston Martin and Renault instead of Alpine. And now into lap number 12, I think it is, or lap number 13, we are going into the pit lane for a set of slick tires. So we decided to get on the mediums, not on the hards, like Jeff decided for us, for the strategy. So we are going onto a set of medium compound tires to have a bit more grip on this, I think a bit wet. The track is still a bit wet, so I think we are getting a bit more grip than the others on the set of medium compound tires. So, but now as you can see, the track is now, I think, fully dry, or slightly fully dry, so it is the time now to change onto the slicks and see what you are achieving. So if we are looking now on the others, Leclerc is really stuck in traffic now because I think he had to wait. He had to pass, I think, multiple cars. Then Alexander Albon is coming in for a set of hards. He had to wait a bit for the traffic, and Raikkonen in front of him, the Alphas. So I think every team right now is double stacking. And the Mercedes is behind the Racing Point of Lance Stroll, and Stroll behind Norris, and then I think it is Leclerc. Yep, so Kvyat has lost all his good work, his good positions in this pit stop, so it's really, I need to say now, karma, because on the first round of pit stop he has gained the time, and on the second round of pit stop he has lost the time because of this traffic. So we've set the fastest lap of the Grand Prix into lap number 12, and into lap number 13 right now we are gaining a huge amount of time because on the out lap of the medium tire set we've got the fastest lap, but only by I think 3/10, and now we can gain the time we've lost on the intermediates to set multiple fastest laps immediately, because the tires are getting down, are getting better and worse, more worse right now. And yeah, so let's see right now. So the positions we are in first, in front of Ricciardo, Leclerc, Norris and Stroll, and behind Stroll is Lewis Hamilton. So this could be really interesting indeed in case of the race, but I don't think that Hamilton is able to catch us if Stroll could possibly keep him behind. So now on the end of lap number 13 we ran a bit wide on the last turn, but it was okay, so we could continue, and we've set the fastest lap of the Grand Prix by I think 6.5 seconds. That's so now you can see how much faster the slick tires are than the intermediates or full wet tires. So good performance and very decent race so far from us. We've got a gap out of 27 seconds of Daniel Ricciardo into lap number 15, 29 seconds on Ricciardo. So really decent race, but if you are looking on the bottom left of the screen, there are yellow flags to the end of the lap. I think there's an orange dot who's stopped there, and so let's see if it is a McLaren. I don't know yet, so we need to wait a bit, but I think the information is coming soon on the middle of our screen. No, it isn't, but we can see now the McLaren into this turn left has parked up, so a mechanical issue, and I can tell you it was Lando Norris who retired of this session, but of the race, but he had a really solid Grand Prix, I need to say, running in P4 behind Leclerc and Ricciardo, but so really sorry for him to retire of this Grand Prix by a mechanical failure. So now Hamilton is in P5 and Stroll in P4, and as you can see on lap number 20, Hamilton has overtaken Leclerc and Stroll, and we've got a gap now of 35 seconds to Daniel Ricciardo. So really interesting indeed in case of that one, because I think if we don't getting a puncher or another mechanical issue, or even if we crash, we will win this race. We are going to win this race if nothing happened like this. So we need to drive home very calm and very relaxed, you need to say, and try to hold position ahead of the other cars. At number 22, Hamilton has closed the gap down from 42 to 39 seconds, and Ricciardo is now a bit under pressure from Lewis Hamilton because Hamilton is getting the toe. And if you are looking on the top left of the screen, Alexander Albon, our teammate, has overtaken Lance Stroll to get 5th place. Let's look at the replay. Yeah, on the start-finish state, really smooth overtake from Alexander Albon to claim P5. So, really solid Grand Prix, you need to say, and from us. So let's see if we can get nursing these tires home, because I don't think they are really great, because we need to brake earlier than we usually are doing, because the tire wear I think is now kicking in a bit, because the usually because normally Jeff has said that we are stopping for the hard tires, but we've decided to stop for the mediums, so I don't think the tires are going to make it to the end. But in case of that, I think we could make another stop, so we have the advantage to Ricciardo to make another stop and change tires onto the soft compound tires. And into lap number 23 now, Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari is out of the race, so really disappointed for him too, because he had a great race, I think a few laps on P3, and on in the rest of the race I think on P4, so so after the second round of pit stops. So really sorry for him too, because it would be, I think, a huge amount of points for Ferrari and for Charles Leclerc. So, really disappointed. Really disappointing for Charles Leclerc. And now we can see if it is a mechanical failure or a crash. I think it is a mechanical failure, because it's parked up on a marshal post. So, yeah, and Ricciardo is still battling away with Hamilton. The gap is now at, I think, 1.6 seconds. And into lap number 25, Ricciardo had maintained the second position, but the gap is now under, in between 1 second, and it has started to rain now. If you can see it, if you look on the halo, and our front left tire, we do have tire wear of 74% on the front left tire, and of I think 65% on the front right tire. So this will be really interesting indeed in case of a puncture or something like this, because then we need to nurse over the line, just like Hamilton in the Great Britain Grand Prix in 2020. And now on the top left, as you can see, Hamilton is now, I think, 2/10 down on Ricciardo, so I think he has the pace to overtake him. But into the last lap of the Grand Prix, he's still in P3, so this is really interesting. Who is going to finish second? We do have a gap now of 43 seconds, so if we are getting a puncture, we could possibly come home in first place still, because our tire wear on the front left tire is now 84%, so really dangerous now in case of getting a puncture. And now it would be time to change on the intermediates, but we do have only one lap left, so we decided to finish the race on the slick tires. And now we are having a Giovinazzi in front of us having a blue flag, but we are in negative fuel, so we need to drive in lean mixture to, I think, to get over the line without a fuel issue, so that we've run out of fuel. So our tire wear 86% right now, so really high tire wear, and I think we are losing the fuel, and I think if it will be possible, we could lap him on the start-finish straight, so to have an overtake still in case of the track. And now yellow flags because we've run out of fuel, and now over the line. Can we lap Giovinazzi side by side right now? So we were slightly slower and than Giovinazzi. The driver of the day is Sebastian Vettel. He has finished in P10 and started from P20. Congrats to him. Let's get onto the podium celebrations.
Sieg für das Team aus Milton Keynes also nach einer vortrefflichen Leistung. Sag mir, Stefan, wie konnten Sie diesen Sieg erringen?
Ich denke, dass das Resultat größtenteils dem Temperament geschuldet ist. Er hat es einfach geschafft, kühlen Kopf zu bewahren, als alle anderen die Fassung verloren haben und dadurch das Maximum aus dem Auto rausgeholt und die Strategie optimiert. Mehr oder weniger ohne Probleme.
Hier kommen die Sieger von heute. Das Team von Red Bull hat in letzter Zeit hervorragende Arbeit geleistet. Man sieht deutlich, dass sie sich gesteigert haben und sie sollten stolz und können vor allen Dingen auch stolz auf ihren heutigen Sieg sein.
So now let's look on the rest of the results. Hamilton has overtaken Ricciardo on the line, I think so, because he has just finished 2 tenths ahead, or 7 tenths ahead of Ricciardo, so it was really close. Alexander Albon, our teammate in P4, ahead of Stroll, Bottas, Perez, Kvyat, Sainz, Vettel, Raikkonen, Ocon, Russell, Gasly, Magnussen, Giovinazzi and Grosjean, and the two and Latifi, and the two retired were Leclerc and Lando Norris in the McLaren. So a really decent Grand Prix for us with a gap of 47 seconds. So a really decent Grand Prix for us, and also we could close the gap in the championship a bit down. I think of 8 points we could close the gap down, but I think the gap is still very large, so we need to get more wins in the next races, so you need to follow that and subscribe our channel if you haven't done yet to see more of this Grand Prix videos. So what's more to say? Vettel has deserved his driver of the day because 10 places up, I think, on the start he had made two places, and on the pit stops he was the one who had the most advantage because he was the last one with a gap of I don't know how many seconds, so he hadn't caught up by the traffic. But guys, if you did enjoy this video, then be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done yet, and leave a like and write in the comments what you think about the video. That was it with the video. I'm Mazu. See you next time. Goodbye.